If you feel you have what it takes to be awarded as the best in the business, here is your chance to apply. Head on over to our website, download the form and apply. If you face any troubles when applying or feel the need to get in touch with us directly, email us, call us, tweet at me directly at Sunanda_J or join our Facebook group.
Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, 18 Hours special initiative that celebrates the undying entrepreneurial spirit of micro, small and medium enterprises. This is the only daily MSME platform in the country, a show where you can voice your concerns and get answers to all your queries directly from our experts. We understand the issues that you, the MSME entrepreneur, face, and this show aims to bring you the most relevant and updated information on everything related to your businesses. On the show today, I'll bring you a quick recap of an interview with Hiranandani. On our Insight segment today, a chat with Joni, and on Bright Sparks tonight, we're featuring two companies, Crown It and Podar Jumbo Kits. Now, the real estate landscape in India is changing like none other, from FDI to REITs to RERA, and increasing competition, not just from domestic players but also international players. More and vocal consumers is also changing the landscape. How should an MSME real estate player in this scenario then take on the challenges of the realty market? I caught up with the top boss of Hiranandani earlier this week. Here are some exclusive insights for you, the MSME entrepreneur.
The documentation systems within the organization should be absolutely transparent, because it's not only the GST but also the Real Estate Regulation Act which is coming to force, which is RERA. So I think a combination of GST and RERA will bring about a clarity to the customer, exactly what is the costing of the flat in terms of cost of land, cost of construction and other things, because those are required now to be stated under the RERA Act. So I think the story would be that you should be as transparent as possible.
What is one of the first things that comes to mind when we talk about festival gifting? Chances are it could be a mobile phone, a fact which is being borne out by the increase in the demand for phones during the recent shopping festivals, as well as the choice that's now available to consumers. Samriti Grover caught up with Joni to ask for tips and insights on how MSME retailers and manufacturers can make a name for themselves in this highly fragmented market. Take a listen.
Thank you, Arvind, for joining us on Leaders of Tomorrow. I want to begin by asking you about the Indian handset and mobile industry. In the last few years, there have been a lot of activity in this space with a lot of Chinese players coming in. And if I could name a few, there is Oppo, there is Loeco, there's Xiaomi for that matter. How do you think has the space evolved over the years?
See, I think one of the key things is India is by and large a very big market. Comes only second to China. So obviously it's a very attractive market to play in. Second thing is, it's one of those markets which is not driven by the operator but is largely distribution dependent. So for anybody who is looking at distributing his products and building a consumer brand out of it, this is the place. And I think 150,000 crores in value size is pretty attractive. So I think it's logical for people to come in here.
But are these brands, trying to fill in a gap that was there in this market, or is it just so much aggressive, marketing strategies that they're going in for and the budget that they have? Because they've also gained a substantial amount of share of the market as well.
See, I think 4 years back, there was a huge gap between the domestic players and the MNC players. Where the Chinese companies came in and brands like us, we were very clear that there was a big position in between where a consumer wanted a good quality product at a competitive price. But that was the story about 4 years back. Today, I think the brand having been built by all the Chinese players, I think are considered equal opportunity MNC players as opposed to the big two.
So if I may ask you, what are the big 2-3 trends that you've perhaps seen in the industry in the last 2-3 years in the short term? What would they be?
See, I think trends that are there in the industry is the way the industry has moved from feature phones to smartphones. That is one trend. And I think the second trend which is being driven is how we are actually going to experience high-speed internet access, which is moving from 3G to 4G.
So with the coming of 4G, do you think there's going to be an increasing demand of, pocket-friendly 4G enabled phones? Because, when Xiaomi also launched, they came in with high-end and medium-level phones and then moved on to the entry segment phones. Does that pose a challenge to handset providers like yours?
Not at all, because when you're talking about 4G devices and you're talking about 4G services, you're talking about high speed data internet access. And when you're talking about high speed internet access, you want to view your content on a particular size of screen. Hence, you can't really look at smaller screens, you can't look at weaker processors, you can't look at lower memories. So there is an optimum configuration that is needed to have a good user experience. Therefore, price will not be a constraint.
Even the government is pretty bullish about making the country digitally empowered. So, what are your views on, let's say, the Make in India program? How do you think it would benefit companies like yours?
See, I think the Make in India program is a fantastic initiative of the Honorable Prime Minister. The key is he managed to actually get everybody to start doing the final leg of manufacturing in India and gave reasonable amount of SOPs. Now with the final leg of manufacturing already available in India, it's just short of time that people would get in full-blown manufacturing and the ecosystem would develop. Once the ecosystem develops, I can tell you this industry would be in the vicinity of almost about $50 billion and would generate millions of jobs.
And how long do you expect that ecosystem would be ready to kind of
I think we're
filter in that much?
already into it by a year. I see another 4 years.
Okay. And how does the Make in India program benefit the MSMEs per se? What would be your advice to them that how can they leverage this platform to the fullest?
See, as far as MSME is concerned, I would assume you're talking about players between about 500 crores, about 50 to 500 crores. While the big brands would have very deep pockets, turnovers would be in billions of dollars. Let's also remember that a phone is made up of about 700 to 800 components. So on the component side, I see a lot of indigenization that could happen. I also believe that supply chain vendors from China would come and seek help to develop joint ventures or to co-work in the Indian industry. And just to give you an example, when we come in with our full-blown manufacturing program, we would at least carry a dozen vendors who would look at tying up with somebody locally, because they would come being guaranteed our demand, but would want to sustain their business on selling to everybody else in the country where they might need local support. And I think if you look at the automobile industry, you look at a couple of other industries, this has been the trend.
So, the retail market is highly fragmented in India, especially in the mobile and handset segment, if I may say. How do you think your views on how small retailers can successfully tap into this market?
See, I think there is nothing like small and big retailer. There is about retail. So I think the spirit that has to be kept in mind is retail. Small is your size of your shop, which could be 400 square feet, could be 4,000 square feet. The key here is the retailer has to be loyal to his customer. He has to be very clear that his customer is going to come to him time and again. And with smartphone coming in, where your ticket size is going to increase, the customer would want to experience the device before he actually buys it. Retailers, in my opinion, should actually focus on building an environment where people actually feel good to shop. Otherwise, there'll be only bargain hunting.
So, as you said, India is the second largest smartphone market currently in the world. How do you see India shaping perhaps global trends or the global smartphone scenes in the years to come?
See, today, the way I look at it is a lot of product is governed by supply chain and a lot of product is governed by demand. Till date, the demand patterns that are there available in the West, in the US, and some bit in China dictate what the product design and offering is. I see that changing. So in India, earlier companies used to be proud saying, I made a few designs for India. I can tell you in the next decade or so, there will be products which will be designed specifically for Indian taste and would be used globally.
So let's talk about the festive season. I believe you've kept about 200 crores dedicated to the festive season marketing this year. What are your plans?
See, I think as far as we are concerned, we've been in the country, as I told you, for about 3.5 years. And the fourth year is something big to celebrate about, because I always say that a cycle of business is about 3 years, and if you've gone that successfully, I think the next cycle should be good. As far as we are concerned, we launched a device which was with a front selfie camera flash, and we wanted to make selfie flash almost a feature which we wanted to own. Now, because we wanted to own that feature, we decided to splurge, if I can say that. And at the same time, I personally believe this year the festive season will be pretty buoyant. And I think the opportunity that it throws for Gioni is fairly large.
And how can small companies, perhaps leverage social media, because they don't have that many deep pockets to spend as marketing budgets and marketing spends. So what is the best way you think social media can be used to their advantage?
Social media is overhyped, in my opinion. It says social media. Be social, your media will be correct. So if a retailer is kind enough to his customers, is not selling them something in which he makes more money because somebody gave him more money, but is selling to the customer what he needs, that customer will always come back to him.
So if I had to just sum it up, if there are any 3 pointers that you as an industry expert would like to give to the MSME players, what would those be?
I think we centered our discussion a lot towards retail, so probably to the retailer, just one key message. His focus has to be the customer. Point number 2, whichever brand he sells to the customer, he should be first clear about the plan of the brand. And last but not the least, if there is a problem with the product, he should be a facilitator to ensure that the consumer is not inconvenienced and is given the product back with minimum downtime.
Time for a quick break. When we come back on the other side, our bright sparks tonight are Crown It and Podar Jumbo Kits. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight we're featuring 2 companies, Crown It and Podar Jumbo Kits. How can businesses give you discounts and still make profits? Gurgaon-based Crown It Cashback app does just that. This app not only helps consumers discover new outlets but offers steal deals and cashbacks to drive consumers for fragmented businesses. Here's everything that you need to know about marketing and promotion strategies.
Shop, earn, save, repeat. The world of e-commerce is taking shopaholics to a new high, and customers are going crazy over cashbacks. With its presence across 4 cities in India and tie-ups with 15,000 local merchants, Crown It tops our chart as an app-only merchant discovery and privilege platform. Incepted in the year 2014, Crown It provides curated and customized shopping and cashback offers to customers across categories like restaurants, beauty and salon, spa and massage, travel, and many more. In the words of its founder Sameer Grover, Crown It is on a mission to expand to over 25 cities by the end of 2018.
So what is the core idea behind Crown It, and what makes this app different from other cashback apps?
Sure. So Crown It is a local deals company. So what we are building here in Crown It is India's largest platform, which is an online to offline platform where local merchants in the category of restaurants, salons, spas, activities, hotels, movies, apparels, all these type of local merchants can participate, woo customers and woo and attract high volumes of business by just participating in this mobile only platform. The platform provides merchants to give cash back to their consumers via us, along with other deals and discounts.
Right. So give us an idea about your revenue model and how do you make profit by giving discounts?
Sure. So if you really look at it, the categories we have targeted categories like restaurants, salons, spas, activities, and movies and others. most of these categories have high gross margin and inventory which is perishable. So when those type of services are being sold through us, we are looking at that high gross margin coming to us as a profit. What we do is we share part of it as our revenue, which is the 5 to 10% as our platform fee, and share the remaining gross margin with the customer as a discount or a cashback. When it comes to something like a daily use case, and I'm talking about Crownit being used by our consumers 30 to 40 times a month, and we have over 1 million consumers, out of which 30 to 40% of them use it every month. They are using it every day. Now, once a daily use case comes in, it actually warrants to be a mobile app only platform.
Now tell me, how crucial do you think it's for cashback startups to keep innovating themselves, considering there are a lot of players in the market like Paytm, Coupon Dunia, Oxygen Wallet, who are capturing a majority of the market share?
If you compare us with companies like Paytm, Coupon Dunia, they have their own different value propositions. Paytm is a payments company. Coupon Dunia is an online only affiliates company. We focus largely on food and beverages. Now, for companies like us who are driving transactions, innovation is extremely important. You always have to focus on how to innovate your product in such a way that the customer is highly engaged, coming back again and again, and transacting more and more on you. And also for us, bringing their friends on board.
Now, my last question to you, what are the expansion plans looking like for Crownit? Where do you want to see this company 5 years from now?
The company is well funded for at least next 12 months. And we are already in 4 cities, which is Delhi NCR, Gurgaon, which we consider as a separate city, Mumbai and Bangalore. And we are going to expand into the next 4 cities, which is Chennai, Kolkata, Pune and Hyderabad in the next 6 months. Eventually, the goal is to get in the top 25 cities of India with over 2 crore users and hit a million GMV mark by 2020.
With a strong user base of over 8 lakhs on Android, Windows and iOS, Crownit is one-of-a-kind marketing app that managed to raise Series A funding of $5.5 million from Axel Partners and Helion Ventures within just 2 years of its launch. What makes Crownit stand out from this crowded space is its latest addition of a unique feature called Crownit Pay that helps customers to make direct, easy, quick and secure payments and get some extra cashback with each transaction.
The years from birth to the age of 8 years are the most critical years for cognitive, emotional and physical growth of children, according to UNICEF. Keeping this in mind, Podar Jumbo Kids, with an emphasis on holistic early childhood education, this company has redefined learning. Shubhangi Sinha caught up with the founder to bring you MSMEs who are in the early education space, tips on innovation and branding in a niche market. Take a listen.
Children between the ages of 0 to 5 constitute 29% of the population of India as per Census 2011. Teaching these young, curious minds, though challenging, is extremely crucial for the development of the nation. With 280 centres in India and the able leadership of Swati Popat Vats, disrupting this market for early childhood education is Podar Jumbo Kids.
Podar Jumbo Kids is a brand which is owned by the Podar family, which has been in education, I think now for the more than 87 years. When they set up Podar Jumbo Kids, which was around 16 years back, they were very clear that they will follow neuroscience research, which says that the brain develops in the first 6 years. So which means if your brain, which is what is the basis of all education, is developing in the first 6 years, then of course you have to put all your investment, your research into those first 6 years. And that's how Podar Jumbo Kids was developed as a brain-based preschool.
A child's brain reaches almost 85% of its adult volume by the age of 3. Given this, Born Smart, a dedicated program for nurturing toddlers' brains in the initial years, has become Jumbo Kids' recent addition to the comprehensive curriculum. The program brings to children interactive learning, technology-enabled classrooms, special gross and motor skills training, and sensory training. To enable seamless learning, teachers at Jumbo Kids undergo specialized training. Integrating global education practices, Jumbo Kids' curriculum is based on a UK model as opposed to being affiliated with the education boards in the country.
One of the first things we were looking for when we set up Podar Jumbo Kids was what curriculum to implement. Like if you see a school would say we have ICSE, we have CBSE, we have IB, we have IGCSE. What about preschool? What is the curriculum that they should be following? So we researched countries around the world. We identified Tewariki, which is a New Zealand based curriculum, and then we zeroed in on UK's EYFS curriculum, which is early years foundation stage. Now, why did we zero in on this? Because it has 7 skill areas like literacy, mathematics, understanding the world, which are all linked into the subjects that ultimately a child will learn in CBSE and ICSE. Now, you may take a curriculum, a school may take a curriculum, but you ultimately have to assess the child. So, all the curriculums we saw had no matching assessments. EYFS was the only one which had a curriculum that matched an assessment.
While Jumbo Kids has gradually managed to garner the trust of parents, lack of awareness about the importance of early childhood education amongst parents still remains a challenge for schools catering to this age group.
It's very important that parents realize the importance of these years and their role. Somewhere parents feel that if it's a branded preschool, it must be a good preschool. I always urge parents as a parenting mentor that take the 5 senses test when you go into a preschool and test it on that how are the voices, the noise that you hear in a preschool. Are there children crying, teachers screaming? So use your senses when you go into a preschool. Don't go on their advertisement. So I think a lot of education needs to be done about how to select a good preschool, because parents tend to get a little carried away by brands.
At present, India faces a shortage of 1.4 million trained teachers. Countering this with colourful classrooms, dedicated teachers, and a vision of enabling the holistic development of children in the crucial initial years, Podar Jumbo Kids is revolutionising learning and is sure to continue making a jumbo impact.
Today we brought you tips on how you, the MSME entrepreneur who's perhaps in the retail space, can use technology to further your business. And do remember that if you want your company to be featured on the show, or you have any queries about any aspect of your business, do feel free to write in to us at leadersoftomorrow@timesgroup.com. You can personally tweet at me at Sunanda_J. You can reach us on social media using the hashtag LOT, or call us on that number that you see flashing on your screens. And we promise to have all of your queries answered. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
If you feel you have what it takes to be awarded as the best in the business, here is your chance to apply. Head on over to our website, download the form and apply. If you face any troubles when applying or feel the need to get in touch with us directly, email us, call us, tweet at me directly at Sunanda_J, or join our Facebook group.